Hello friends, welcome back to my channel and thank you so much for the love and support that I've been receiving from all the near and dear ones. And yes, we're again back with another guest interview in the series of interviews. So yes friends, as I keep saying that it is very very important for a woman to be financially independent, and it excites me when I see somebody inspiring, and like it's so overwhelming when I hear about someone who has started a business from home and is a self-made entrepreneur. Yes, I don't want to sound biased, but being a woman, obviously, it makes me feel proud when I hear some stories of married women who are very successful in their career, let it be business or any other profession. So today, my guest is Farida, who is from Coimbatore and who runs a cloud kitchen for Bohri cuisine and is also a content writer and writes various blogs. And yes, not just this, but she is also an incredible mother to a 7-year-old daughter who is visually impaired, and she is a living example of unconditional love and support that a mother can give to her child and is always there to protect her child from all the odds. So let's get into the conversation with Farida and know about this journey of hers. Hi Farida, welcome to my channel.
Hi, I'm so glad to be here. I mean, I just can't express my happiness, excitement to be here.
My pleasure, actually. So, yeah, I just first of all want you to tell to my listeners that what is the cloud kitchen all about? Like, it's actually very new to many of the women out there. So, I just want you to elaborate what is it and how it functions.
A cloud kitchen is basically a kitchen where you don't have dine-in. You just have takeaways, and you have small portions of. You make small portions or you make big portions, not like a commercial cooking. You can get into commercial cooking also if you want, but at the initial stage, like every time we are very skeptical of when we cook something new at our home, how is it going to turn out? And that skeptical feeling will just go away with this cloud kitchen. If you have good talent of cooking, you can cook good food, then cloud kitchen is for you. Because I remember we started with like a very small number, and then with 10, then it became 20, then it became 50, then it became 75. I remember my first Ramzan order were rolls, and we delivered 75 rolls across Coimbatore.
Wow.
Yeah. And it was COVID and lockdowns, and people were panicked. They didn't know what to do. Ramzan was in years, and kids were home. So it was such a chaos outside, but there was a calm, serene kind of thing around us, where we were so indulged in putting in our good things inside the food. So nice. That's how it started for me. Like the idea of cooking came up. I think it just came up one morning when we were having breakfast, and suddenly my husband was like, "Why don't we make chana potato and masala?" So I'm like, yeah, sure, why not? And I took it very casually, like, he keeps telling everything, we just listen and just walk away. That mood. And then suddenly he again came back and told me, like, why don't we seriously do this? I'm like, how are we going to do it? There's a whole market closed outside. There are police everywhere. Where will you go get potatoes, chutney and everything? We have to make everything in Batul's home, and Batul was 3 years old. I'm like, not taking any chance with this girl, and you going outside, coming home, and be getting affected and all that. I'm like, I'm not in for this. Please, let's just drop the plan. But I don't know, he had a fire in him to do something, because he couldn't sit at home the whole time.
Yeah.
He's like, I want to do something. I'm a businessman. The business blood runs in him. I'm like, I can't sit at home and just watch movies. And I think that time there were no OTTs and all that. We had cable channel. We had cable. So we were just viewing the channels. Whatever movie used to come, we used to watch. And I was like, no, this is not working out, for us. And then he pushed me, like, no, we will do this. Let's do it. Let's try. And then we didn't have posters, and we just had WhatsApp status, every evening after our Maghrib namaz around 6:30, 6:45, we used to upload status. And they flood messages, like we want 1 box, we want 2 boxes, we want 3 boxes. And we didn't have packing material. We didn't know there's packing material available in the market. I didn't know personally. So I was like, how are we going to give them? Like, we'll ask them to bring their boxes. And they bring their boxes and we fill it to them and they sit and chit chat with us. And there was lots of family kind of feeling.
You can socialize also with this.
Yes.
So it's like, kind of the home chef that has started these days. There are a few apps in which they're not like the Swiggy, Zomato and all. There are some apps which have home chefs.
Her is working out in Coimbatore.
Yeah.
So how far that works. But I would always tell women to start small. It's okay to failure. One day you will not have an order. One day is like a bland, like empty day. I take it as my relaxed day. I'm like, okay, today is no orders, no problem. I can relax.
Holiday.
Holiday for me. I spend time with my daughter. I go around. I order something from Swiggy and eat myself. I enjoy. I take a hot shower. And I clean my kitchen. Basically, my holidays are still half a day. I clean my kitchen. I keep everything properly. I change places so that I feel excited the next day when I start cooking. So this is what my cloud kitchen is actually about.
Nice. So I know there are a lot of women who are good at cooking, but then again the thought of cooking for others is always like timiding, like it's not so encouraging for most of them, because they as you said that maybe they will feel that people may or may not like the food that they are making. So what tips would you want to give to such people who are good in cooking but they're not able to take that step to start their own business?
I would just say confidence. If you don't have confidence in yourself, then you should, bring that in for yourself. You should believe in yourself. There are days when there are bad cooking days, I agree. There are days when the dish is extremely good. But it is all about confidence in the way you bring it up to your customer.
Correct.
So I always believe that you should believe in your dish. Then only the other person is going to believe in you.
Correct.
So this is my tip.
Yeah. So what would you call as a bad day or a good day in this kind of a field? Like when you're working in this cooking side, what would you call as a bad experience or a good experience?
Bad experience is less of mental preparation. Suddenly you're just running the mixer and it just breaks down.
It doesn't.
And you need to grind something. You don't know. And suddenly there's a power cut.
Correct.
We have UPS around, but in UPS we can't use the grinder or a mixer.
Yeah.
I'm like, what am I supposed to do? I can't, grind by my hand or anything. Those are kind of bad days. And sometimes when there's a personal issue going on, and that comes in between your professional life. We're human beings. So somewhere back of your mind that keeps running. And you're not able to concentrate on your cooking. So I feel those days are very bad days. And most of the time I try to cancel my orders or I just take a break. But there are times when people are taking regular lunch. I can't tell them a no because they survive on the lunch I send.
Correct.
These days, I push myself like, no, put that thought aside. Just concentrate. 10 more minutes, you're done. 10 more minutes, you're done. I keep telling myself. Yes. And then I finish whatever I have to, pack everything, send it across. And just switch off the lights, leave the mess as it is and come and just sit for some time. And whatever the tension is or the aggression or whatever, however I want, I take it out. And then I crawl into my kitchen very slowly.
Nice. Actually, it's a very big thing because usually when we have to cook for our own family, there are some days when we feel lazy. But like how you said, there are people who are waiting for your lunch to be served. In such cases, we can never even think of being lazy. We cannot skip that day, right? We cannot take an off.
You cannot. We can. I do have such days when I tell them, but I ensure that I give them prior information.
Correct. In advance, you have to tell.
Yeah, and one night prayer. So the next day morning when they wake up, they can at least prepare a small meal for themselves, or at least order somewhere else, or they can plan whatever.
Yeah, they can arrange. Yeah, so correct. And yes, you even told about your content writing. So even this is like, I mean, very contrast to what you're doing. So this is like another skill that you have. So can you just tell about this also, like how people should get into this content writing, like how to start if somebody has to show their skills about this?
Content writing is, I think that was the very first skill that I discovered in myself. When I was in school. I was a commerce student, and I used to write lots of stories in my commerce paper. I still had them with me in my house, but my mom shifted her house and she threw all my commerce papers. And I'm like, why did you do this to me? And she's like, no, enough of storing those story papers for yourself. I remember my teacher used to tell me that you can become a story writer instead of writing such things in the commerce paper. I'm like, yeah, I will really do it. And that was the first click that she gave me, that you should do something with stories. And then I got into visual communication, and then there we had script writing. That was the second step for me to actually discover the hidden talents in me. And like that, slowly writing came through, and I got into content writing as a profession after I graduated. And I worked for five and a half years before I got married.
Okay.
And 5.5 years were like a blessing years for me. I've learned everything that I should be learning, because when I joined content writing, I think that was the initial phase of content writing. That is the time when content was being recognized as one of the initial important part of marketing.
Okay.
Website. That is the time when they started, giving importance to blogs, campaigns. All these were coming up. So that time I think social media was there, but it wasn't that important than how important it is at the moment. So that was very, I was playing the very major role. Whatever I write is going to go on the site. So, like that, very crucial moment. If you ask me how to get into it, I think if you have a fluency with words, or if you have a passion to write something, because some people are very good with speaking, they can't write.
Yeah.
They tell me everything on the phone. See, this is what the matter is. You have to write and give me. You have to put it in words.
Correct.
If you're able to put the listening content into a writing content, I think then you are the best fit for content writing.
Yeah. So yes, next I would want to talk about your little daughter that you have mentioned. So yes, so can you tell us about her?
She's 7 years old. Extremely talented girl. I'm so proud to be her mother. Firstly, she was the one who just made me feel that I should have my own identity also, just then being a mother. Because every time I used to teach her that you should be independent, you should be doing your work by yourself, you should have an identity for yourself. And she was very proud about herself from the start. Even before we had even told her about her condition, she was very proud about herself, that yes, I can do it. I can speak Tamil, I can speak English, and she was boasting about her language skills to people. So that inspired me. That it's just a small thing, but she's so proud about it. And that made me realize that I should also have an identity of my own. Like, being a mother, yes, there is an identity of being a mother of a daughter, a wife of a husband. But other than that, as an individual, I had nothing. 4 years back. That gave me a push that I have to do something for myself, stand for myself, stand for her. Because tomorrow morning when she wakes up and she tells me like, Mama, you're just a housewife. I don't want to hear that.
Yeah, correct.
She gave me that push, like, no, you have to do something for yourself. Even now, sometimes when I tell her that you have to take care of yourself, you don't have to get hurt, you have to be careful. And sometimes come back to me. When I cut my finger, or if I don't feel like bathing, or I just keep wailing thanks. But you have to take care of yourself, take care of your hygiene. Go take care. I'm like, okay, I'm going immediately.
Yeah.
Teach your children. So that way, I feel I'm blessed to have her.
Right. So like how I mentioned, every child is unique in their own way, and like how you're telling about her talents. So I just want to know, what was your first reaction when you came to know that she's visually impaired? How did you deal with it?
I was, I think she was how old? I think she was 1.5 months old when I took her to the doctor. I just finished my routine, all that taking care of myself in the initial days, and we ran to the doctor, and they had a very different perception of her vision, eyes, and everything. Her eyes were small in size, but they were not able to tell me exactly the issue behind her eyes.
Okay.
So I was like, okay, I was very broken, shattered, totally shattered, and PPD was along with me. And 7 years back, I didn't know there's something called PPD also. I mean, I discovered it like 3-4 years back. So I was still juggling between PPD, myself, my daughter, my house, my husband, and it was a juggle. It was a struggle for me, basically. So the discovery was very, very bad. The doctor trips, the information that they used to give us. By the time I could absorb it, it would take months for me to actually absorb the whole part. That okay, tomorrow is going to be happening. And every morning I used to wake up with a negative thought, like, okay, what if tomorrow she's not able to see me? Because she had a big vision, she could at least see us around. And all this happened. So, but now it is going in a very negative way. But we have made her very prepared that this is what it is. This is how it's going to be all our life. We are there for you. You're there for us. So we will manage the journey. You don't have to be worried that tomorrow morning anything happens to you, but if we are not going to be there with you, I mean, I keep telling her that you don't have to be worried at all. Whatever it is, we are going to face it together. All three of us are going to stand in the same line.
Correct. So that's the kind of confidence and strength she gets.
Yes,
really amazing. Yeah.
And I boost confidence in her that irrespective of what you are, the physical appearance, but you are strong enough inside. Tomorrow morning, when even you have to do something by yourself, you will be able to do it. Don't think that you can't.
Correct. So this is we have to prepare the kids how to protect themselves. Even like you said, even when you are not there in that exact situation.
Yes.
So I mean, how hard? I would want to know how hard is it to sometimes protect her from certain situations, because she's just 7 years old. She's just entering and just knowing the world actually now. Yes. How are the situations when she actually needs somebody to be there with her, but there are sometimes situations when you cannot physically be with her. So how do you deal with such situations?
Most of the time, either me or my husband is there with her.
Okay.
Where we are. If we both are not available, and I have my sister-in-law who is in one street away, so she takes care of that too. There are times when none of us are there, and I have my husband's brother's wife who stays in Chennai, but whenever we are there, she is there for us. So she is there to me. So somebody or other, I pass on the responsibility on one of us, all four of us share the responsibility and, exist along. But I always tell her, there was one situation where somebody touched her around her eyes, and I was not there. My sister was there, but she couldn't react immediately. So that situation, I thought, I wish I was there and I could, tell something to that person. And I took that situation as a lesson for myself. And I told Batul that if anybody is even touching your hand, you should be telling them that don't touch me. Be it your private part, be it your personal space, anything. If anybody is touching you, you don't even know that person. So they have no right to touch you anywhere. Even holding hands, pulling your cheek is also not applicable these days.
Correct.
So I took that as a lesson for myself, for her. And she immediately acknowledged it. Okay, yes, ma, even I felt wrong. I will take care of it next time. She said that to me. And I'm like, I'm winning somewhere as a mother.
Right. No, like they say that if like God has given maybe one problem to us, He'll definitely give 10 more like positive things to the person, which will actually cover up the incapability that we have. So like you said, even I remember once you had mentioned that she even listens very carefully, and she's like, she can, remember things and even recognize just by listening to the things. So I think like how you said, even acknowledging all these things, she has that kind of maturity, I guess, which is not so common at this age.
Very true.
So yeah, it's really amazing to listen to all these things, Farida. So and definitely I would say you are a mother with multiple talents, because like you said, managing personal life and professional life is actually a very, very difficult task. But then keeping a balance for our own balance, actually it's very important for our own self balance, that we should have this profession and family work balance. So thank you so much for sharing your journey with us, and I'm sure it's going to inspire many of the mothers out there. So again, I'm very thankful to you for coming to this podcast.
I'm glad that you even thought about me. When you actually asked me that if I can be a part of your podcast, and I was like, seriously, I can be a part of it. Nobody approached me for this, despite of people seeing the journey through my eyes, because I've been a very important part of the group, and people know Batul, people know me, people know the kind of work I do, the kind of motherhood I share with Batul.
Yeah.
So there were nobody who approached me, and when you did, I felt really proud about myself.
Yeah, because see, I have actually heard of many mothers who just complain about very small things about the kids, like the child is doing this or that. That time I feel, see, there are so many other things, how so many people are managing so many more difficult issues with a smile on their face. Right, so actually seeing your journey has made me also feel that we should not keep complaining about what we have, but we should take and move on in life. So it's really
learn how to balance things.
Correct.
Very difficult. I am telling you from my experience. There are times when I just feel like, please just let me go. I don't want to stop and just run away somewhere. But it's just a moment because of that, and then maybe just take some deep breaths, maybe a hot shower, or just eat something that sometimes when I'm cooking also I forget to eat because I'm so engrossed in cooking.
Yeah.
So, she takes care of me. When I serve her lunch, she asks me, "You eat? Did you eat? Are you eating? Are you going to eat now?" There are sentences like these when I serve the food to her, because obviously she's not going to starve like me. So
Correct.
It reminds me that no, you have to take care of yourself even while you are pursuing your dreams. It's okay, you run behind your dreams, you fly, you do whatever you want, but you take care of yourself in the meantime.
Correct.
So that's one message that I want to tell all the women out there, that you do whatever you want to do, but don't forget that, while chasing your dreams, you don't forget yourself. Because sometimes we're not able to tell a no to people, or we're not able to tell them, we can't back answer a customer, even if we are not wrong.
Right.
Situations are very important for us to learn. Maybe politely, maybe very sweetly, very kindly, we can give answers back. So this is one thing that I learned in my journey also, and Batul taught me that. Trust me when I say this, she taught me this. Because filters, when they talk, they don't have filters. So they just say whatever is in their mind. And that touched my heart. I'm like, I'm also going to be Batul now.
Very, very true. And she surely is very strong and mature compared to the other kids of her age. And I just hope this continues and she has a very amazing and blessed life ahead. And thank you again for coming to my channel. And yes, listeners, I hope all of you will surely learn few things from this podcast, which is actually very emotional and sensitive for me also to discuss about all these things. So I'm sure we all also should try to accept whatever happens in life with a smile, as I said. And yes, life goes on, and I'm sure that it has something good stored for everybody. So yes, again, we'll continue the series of podcasts in the next episode. So thank you so much. Yes, thank you, Farida, for coming.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much for calling me here. I'm just more than honored to be here. Thank you so much.
My pleasure. So yes, listeners, again we'll meet in the next podcast. Bye. Thank you.